So I'm actually asked this quite a bit. And the question goes something along these lines. Robert, you don't have anyone from the West in your in your offices in Indonesia or in Peru. How do you manage people? We have 200 colleagues in Indonesia, because many of the people that I speak to, when they hear that we have an outsourced setup like we have, where we have 200 colleagues in Indonesia, they automatically assume that you cannot have that unless you have somebody from the West kind of managing that setup. And I think it's basically based on the fact that I think most companies you cannot, and it does not work. And then for us, it just works amazingly well. So I often get that question, how do you do it? And that is a really, really big question to answer, right? Of course, we've been doing what we're doing for 10 years. A huge part of our culture and the DNA of our company comes back to that fact that we are investing in people. We trust people. And because we do that, there's a lot of processes internally at 24 Slides that runs very, very differently than I think it does in most companies. I would say the number one thing that has put us in a position where there is such great alignment across cultures and across geographies, between head office in Copenhagen and our 200 colleagues in Indonesia and almost 30 colleagues in Peru, is that we really, really trust our people to make the right decisions for the business. And we also know that all of the information they have is information that we normally don't have in Copenhagen. And you put those two together, and it basically means that every time we have to make decisions that impact our colleagues in Indonesia, we very carefully make sure that they are heard, their input is valued, and in many cases that whatever solutions they come up with, it's actually the solution that is being implemented. Now, my personal theory about it is that because we've done that, and we've done that over a 10-year span now, we have managed to create such a high level of alignment between our core group of people in Indonesia and in Peru and in Copenhagen, that everyone has a high level of trust that we are aligned towards the same goal. And that means that we're actually able to operate our company in a completely different setup than any other company I know that are dealing with outsourcing. I wish I'd be able to say there's a very, very easy fix, a hack that you can just do, but I don't think there is. I fundamentally believe that it's because every time we're faced with the choice where you have the ability to do the right thing and the easy thing, we have just hundreds and hundreds of times done the right thing. And leaned into providing context, valuing input, and drawing our people closer in towards the decision. And I think because we've done that over a long period of time, we have ended up with a really, really unique setup that I think is really, really hard to copy for for anyone. But obviously it also means that it's hard for us to give great input to other people with outsourced operations.